We are all are born into a world destined to be slaves. We did not ask to be born into a world, to grow up to be slaves into a system we did not ask for. So, for context, these background cars are pretty loud. I don't think I ever heard of a single person who's truly and genuinely happy to work in a system. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, tragic realities. I love my job, or I have this person who's always happy every single day and they love their job. They want all the hours. They want all the time they can get over there. And I'm going to tell you this. There's a hidden lie in that. And I'm going to tell you right now why there's a hidden lie in it. If they truly and genuinely love what they do in the system, try taking money out of the picture. If you take away all the money and they knew they was going to come out making $0.00, would they still love working their job? Will they still have that smile on their face, excited to greet other people and provide a service to society? You got to think about it. A lot of people says they love this and they like this. But do people truly love it if they're not going to get anything in return? I mean, if you think about it, I'm doing this so I can make money just by speaking and complaining about the system. Because as I said before, I was inspired by tragic reality. I have this mindset from a very early age, and I was on YouTube since 2008. Now, for those who don't know, I'm 23 years old. So I was born in 2002. And I had a channel from the very early days, and I was very aware of how this system operates at a very early age. Not like hyper aware. My hyper awareness came around when I was like between the ages 13 to 16, but I was very aware as early as age 5. And I'm just thinking, I remember asking my dad, like, why do we need to work just to pay bills and survive? Why don't we have more freedom over the choices of what we want to do? Now, don't get me wrong. There are certain aspects of work that I do like. For example, my ancestors supposedly live and grew up off the land, what we have right here. Life must have been simple during those times if they lived in peace. I'm assuming all they had to do was plant seeds, watch all these trees grow and produce fruits. Fresh water was probably easily accessible. All you had to do was find a flowing river and just collect it in whatever cans or wherever they used to hold water back then. Fishing, which I know has probably been out since ancient times. They can catch that and make fires and eat. Everything seemed pretty simple, and you just go out and do whatever you find best to how you live your life. But today in this system, if you look around, there's no female trees anywhere. There's no clean water anywhere. You go to these stores and you see everything has a number label on it, and you need this amount of this number to purchase it. There's like no choice. Even if I were to say, screw the whole system, quit my job, leave my grandma's house, and I'll just wander out to the real world as I spawn in this coordinate location like in Minecraft, what am I supposed to do? There's no food growing on any of the trees here, and there's no fresh water. Now, I may have an idea of how to get some fresh water and maybe an idea of how to hunt because it's probably genetically in me from my ancestors, but it's like, how do I go about it? It's like, how? You're not really given much of a choice. We live in this illusion where if you have more paper, you will supposedly be more happy. But in reality, we've seen people with paper and they're just as miserable. Now, don't get me wrong. Having this concept of money can help you buy things. So at least you eliminated financial stress. But you still have emotional stress, physical stress, family stress. You still have all these other factors. So while money may not be a key to happiness, it can help you move around in this system. But why does this system revolve around with just money? Why can't we have the option to live like our ancestors or in those anime worlds where you can live self-sufficient off the resources around you? Right now, if I tried doing a 1-month challenge, there's no river around here. There's no fruits on the trees. Now, I am aware I could fast for the month and potentially survive if my will is strong enough. But I'm already going to lose the first 3 days because it's going to be 100 degrees for the next 3 days with no water. So that alone already has me cooked. And yes, I did hear stories about how you could drink your own urine and it does clean out if you fast. But let's be for real. I'm not doing that because I'm not in a situation where I have to do that. So it's just pointless. It's like, and people might tell people, well, that's just how it is. You got to deal with it. And I'm like, get out of here. I like, even regardless in what status you have, if you have money or not, you're still a slave. You still live in the same fishbowl if you believe in an infinite world, or in a floating rock in space if you believe in a round world. You're still in the same rock or fishbowl as me, still bounded by rules. You just have more options monetarily because you have money in the system that we did not ask to be born into. Nobody asked to be born into a system where our value, especially if you're a male, is determined by how much money you make. I'd rather be born into a game world or an anime world where I can just slash monsters, gather fresh food from trees or berries, and get water from riverbanks and be doing all right, than to be born into a system where I have to clock in from a 9 to 5 or a 6 to 12. For those who don't know, I work part-time on weekends from 6 to close as a cook at a bowling alley, which is pretty good if I do say so myself. So with all this free time I have on hand, I can now focus on working out, spending time outside in nature, which I have been doing even more often now that my PC is kind of cooked and I'm waiting for a new part to arrive. Started this channel, which is my latest channel, where I just speak my mind about this world we live in. And don't get me wrong, this world is beautiful, but I don't find the people beautiful in this world. And I'm not gonna speak for every single living being, but I think we all can agree that people has caused us a lot more suffering than this planet ever will. I mean, when is the last time you got hit by a natural disaster? When is the last time when a planet has cost you thousands of dollars worth of damage? And even if it did, who caused you more pain in the end? The world or the people in the system that live within this world? I don't think this is a prison planet. To a degree, I do, because technically we are born in a physical body stuck here until our time comes. But as far as the whole suffering aspect of it, most of my suffering came because of another person. Rather, it was directly or indirectly. I mean, if I was the only person on the earth, there will be now no direct or indirect causes for why I suffered. Anything now that happens is just because of either me not being competent or just me selling in real life, or this current reality of real life. And I had someone in the comments who asked me where am I from. If you are curious, I was born and grew up in New York for the first half of my life. I moved more down south, and geez, good luck if you ever try to live off the land in New York, because it's all just buildings out there. At least more in the southern states, which I probably will reveal in a future video. There's a way more plant life, but there's no fruit trees. All these trees are male, and we're wondering why people have so many allergy problems out here. So do you know what I'm gonna start doing? The seeds I get from the fruits that I plant, I'm gonna start planting them everywhere, tossing them on the soil. Gonna start helping out Gaia, Mother Earth, to grow back our resources that were stolen from us. And we're gonna start going against this system. People who are born here like us should have the right to free food from the trees and clean filtered water with minerals in it from the sea. That's the only way we're gonna not play this system's game. So I'm gonna start making a difference by taking small steps and planting seeds and filtering the sea. I'm out.